All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Naresh Margo and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha. The headlines. Prime Minister Modi-led government completes 8 years today, rededicates to service, good governance and welfare of the poor. Benefits under the PM Cares for Children scheme to be released by Prime Minister Modi today at 10:30 a.m. via video conferencing. Infrastructure development for better connectivity in the Northeast is a priority, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Guwahati. National Council for Teacher Education launches online portal to streamline the process of recognition of teacher education programs. Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs to celebrate iconic week of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from today. Pope Francis has elevated Archbishops of Hyderabad and Goa to cardinal rank. In French Open tennis, Rafael Nadal sets up a clash with world number 1 Novak Djokovic in the quarterfinals. In Asia Cup hockey, India draw game with Malaysia in Super 4 pool game at Jakarta. And in cricket, Gujarat Titans win IPL final, defeating Rajasthan Royals in Ahmedabad. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. Coming to our 83rd question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz in English. Which freedom fighter is associated with Songs from Prison, a translation of ancient Indian religious lyrics in English? I will repeat the question for you. Which freedom fighter is associated with Songs from Prison, a translation of ancient Indian religious lyrics in English? Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 88265-46262. Repeat, 88265-46262, or through email on amritmahotsav@prasarbharati.gov.in. The Narendra Modi-led NDA government is completing 8 years today. In these 8 years, the government has taken several steps for the benefit of citizens. Today, as a part of the special series, we will know how the lives of people have become much easier as the government has given special focus on ease of living.
The new India is redefining ease of living in tune with the rising aspirations. In his first Independence Day address from the ramparts of the Red Fort after becoming the Prime Minister for the second time, Mr. Modi had reiterated people's will and his government's firm commitment. He had said that ultimate objective is to achieve ease of living where a common man gets his due rights easily.
हमारी भी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि हम देशवासियों की ईज ऑफ लिविंग को बढ़ाएं। इसके हमें प्रोएक्टिवली काम करना ही होगा। हमें इस बात को सुनिश्चित करना होगा कि सामान्य मानवी को रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में सरकार से जूझना ना पड़े।
Bite. In the first term of the government, the nation has made remarkable strides in fulfilling its basic needs such as achieving sanitation, village electrification, pakka houses for crores of Indians. Speaking exclusively to AIR News, Union Minister of State for Housing and Urban Affairs Kaushal Kishore said,
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपने पार्लियामेंट के पहले भाषण में ही बोला था कि हम चाहते हैं कि सन 2022 तक हिंदुस्तान के अंतिम व्यक्ति के पास उसका अपना निजी आवास हो। तो इसके लिए उन्होंने प्रधानमंत्री शहरी आवास योजना, प्रधानमंत्री ग्रामीण आवास योजना लागू की। इसके अलावा सौभाग्य योजना लागू की और पूरे देश में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने प्रत्येक गांव में, प्रत्येक घर में बिजली का कनेक्शन मुफ्त पहुंचाने का काम किया। तो उज्ज्वला योजना लागू की, जिसके लिए इनके पास गैस सिलेंडर चूल्हे नहीं थे उनको देने का काम किया। पेयजल की व्यवस्था के तहत जल शक्ति मंत्रालय का गठन किया। 2024 तक सबके घरों में पानी पीने की व्यवस्था पाइपलाइन के द्वारा बिछा करके पहुंचा देने का काम किया जाएगा।
In the first term, the Narendra Modi-led government helped India get back on the growth trajectory. Now, in the second term, it is sustaining the speed of growth and further accelerating it. With Naseem Naqvi, Anupam Mishra, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Modi-led government completes today 8 years of seva, that is service, Sushasana, good governance and Garib Kalyan, welfare of the poor. During this period, the resolve of the nation has been to ensure that benefits of each scheme reach 100% entitled people. The Prime Minister stated earlier that he is working as a family member for the crores of citizens of the country. No beneficiary who is entitled to the benefit should be left out of the schemes for the welfare of the poor.
आज जो कुछ भी मैं कर पा रहा हूं वो आप ही लोगों के पास सीखा हूं और वही अनुभव है जिसको लेकर के आज पूरे देश के लिए एक परिवार के सदस्य के रूप में काम कर रहा हूं। सरकार का निरंतर प्रयास रहा है कि गरीब कल्याण की योजनाओं से कोई भी लाभार्थी जो भी उसका हकदार है छूटना नहीं चाहिए।
Let us take a quick look at the milestones which have brought smiles to the faces of millions of citizens by ease of living. 6 lakh villages have been declared open defecation free. Electricity connections have reached out to 2.60 lakh houses. Bank accounts opened for the first time for 45 crore people. The poor get insured at 1 rupee per month under the PM Suraksha Bima Yojana. Cash transfers in bank accounts of 20 crore women during the corona pandemic time. Under PM Kisan, 11.78 crore farmers get rupees 6,000 per year directly in their bank accounts. 68% beneficiaries of Mudra Yojana are women. 15 out of a total of 22 aims established in the last 8 years. Free ration to 80 crore people during lockdown. Under Ayushman Bharat Yojana, 3.28 crore people get free treatment up to 5 lakh rupees. More than 9.5 crore houses have tap water connection. Over 9 crore 17 lakh gas connections have been given to women. Mudra loan has been granted to more than 35 crore people. Under PM Swanidhi, collateral-free loan provided to 31.9 lakh street vendors during pandemic. Under PM Awas Yojana, more than 3 crore families got their own houses. The News Services Division of All India Radio is bringing a special program on the 8 years of Modi government on the theme of ease of living in its program Spotlight tonight. This program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. The Pradhan Mantri Matra Vandana Yojana is a centrally sponsored DBT scheme with a cash incentive of 5,000 rupees in 3 installments being provided directly in the bank or post office account of pregnant women and lactating mothers. A woman beneficiary of this scheme from Doda district told AIR News,
मेरा नाम सलोनी बेगम है। मैं डंडी ए की रहने वाली हूँ। जब मेरा पहला बच्चा रहा बहुत तकलीफ होती है। आज के इस जमाने में बहुत महंगाई है, बहुत खर्चा होता है, दवाइयाँ बहुत महंगी है। तो जब ये आंगनवाड़ी हेल्पर मेरे घर में आई, उन्होंने मुझे इस स्कीम के बारे में बताया। उन्होंने मुझे आधार कार्ड, अकाउंट नंबर, मेरे हस्बैंड का आधार अकाउंट नंबर लिया और पहले 1,000 मिला, फिर 2,000 मिले, फिर डिलीवरी के 3 महीने बाद 2,000 और मिले। तो इस स्कीम से बहुत फायदा हुआ। मेरे हस्बैंड ऑटो चलाते हैं, तो बहुत महंगाई थी, इन पैसों से सहूलियत हो गई।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release benefits under the PM Cares for Children scheme at 10:30 this morning via video conferencing. He will transfer scholarships to school-going children. A passbook of PM Cares for Children and health card under Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana will be handed over to the children during the program. The PM Cares for Children scheme was launched by Prime Minister Modi on the 29th of May last year to support children who have lost both parents or legal guardian or adoptive parents or surviving parent to the COVID-19 pandemic during the period from 11th of March 2020 to the 28th of February 2022. The objective of the scheme is to ensure comprehensive care and protection of children in a sustained manner by providing them boarding and lodging, empowering them through education and scholarships. The scheme will equip them with financial support of 10 lakh rupees on attaining 23 years of age and ensuring their well-being through health insurance. A portal named pmcaresforchildren.in was launched to register details of the children. The portal is a single window system which facilitates approval process and all other assistance for beneficiaries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also interact with orphans across the country through video conferencing. In Uttar Pradesh, the scheme has become a great support to such children. Let's hear more on this in our report from our Lucknow correspondent.
Many children in Uttar Pradesh lost their parents during COVID pandemic, and PM Cares for Children scheme ensured comprehensive care and protection of children in a sustained manner. District Probationary Officer of Unnao District, Renu Yadav, told AIR News that 3 children in the district are getting benefit of the scheme, and it has proved to be a boon for them.
बहुत ही अच्छी योजना ऐसे बच्चों को अपने माता पिता या अभिभावक के रूप में उनको एहसास दिलाने के लिए चलाई जा रही है, जिसके अंतर्गत बच्चे के उच्च शिक्षा तक का पूरा सहयोग सरकार द्वारा दिया जा रहा है, जिसके अंतर्गत बच्चे की पढ़ाई से लेके उसके रहने का, उसकी उच्च शिक्षा में अगर वो एजुकेशन लोन तक भी लेता है तो वो भी सरकार द्वारा वहन किया जाएगा.
441 such children in the state are getting benefit of the scheme currently, and now they do not have to worry for their future. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
As many as 43 orphans from Thane district who are beneficiaries of Prime Minister's Care for Children scheme will also participate in this program from the district collector's office. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with beneficiaries of about 16 schemes and programs spanning 9 ministries and departments as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations tomorrow. The national-level event named Garib Kalyan Sammelan will be held at Shimla, where the Prime Minister will interact with beneficiaries through video conferencing. He will also release the 11th installment of the Kisan Samman Nidhi amounting to more than 21,000 crore rupees. Simultaneously, events will also be organized at state capitals, district headquarters and KVK centers. Under this series of events, the scheme beneficiaries will interact with chief ministers, central and state ministers, members of parliament, members of legislative assembly and other elected public representatives.
The Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs will be celebrating the iconic week of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from today. As part of the celebrations, the Ministry is giving widespread publicity to the video tutorial of Youth Parliament. The tutorial seeks to showcase the noble ideals of Youth Parliament, like encouraging tolerance, divergent views, addressing problems by debating and discussing, with a view to strengthening the roots of democracy. The tutorial also carries the message of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The ministry said some schools are also slated to perform their youth parliaments during the week. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his Mann Ki Baat program yesterday appreciated Zoho Sridhar Vembu's endeavour of encouraging the rural youth to be innovative and create for the world while staying in the village itself. Zoho Corporation is a Chennai headquartered technology company founded by Sridhar Vembu that makes web-based business tools. Talking to AIR News, Vembu thanked the Prime Minister and said that he was deeply grateful.
I want to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for mentioning me in the Mann Ki Baat program. It is an immense honor to be mentioned by our beloved Prime Minister, and it is an immense motivation for me to continue my work on technology development and rural education.
Union Minister for Finance Nirmala Sitharaman has said that the centre is focusing more on funding infrastructure development in the entire northeastern area for better connectivity. She said this while addressing the valedictory session of the 3rd Natural Allies in Development and Interdependence NADI 2022 conclave in Guwahati yesterday. The Union Minister said that northeastern states are the gateway to the entire Southeast Asian region, and the government is attempting for better connectivity in this area to improve tourism. The Finance Minister said that the Government of India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is fully committed towards Neighbourhood First and Act East policy. Ms. Sitharaman also said that the Union Government is giving priority to development of national waterways in the country for their immense possibilities.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Modi-led government completes 8 years today, rededicates to service, good governance and welfare of the poor. Benefits under the PM Cares for Children scheme to be released by Prime Minister Narendra Modi today at 10:30 a.m. via video conferencing. Infrastructure development for better connectivity in the Northeast is a priority, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Guwahati. National Council for Teacher Education launches online portal to streamline the process of recognition of teacher education programs. Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs to celebrate iconic week of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from today. Pope Francis has elevated Archbishops of Hyderabad and Goa to cardinal rank. In French Open tennis, Rafael Nadal sets up a clash with world number 1 Novak Djokovic in the quarter-finals. In Asia Cup hockey, India draws game with Malaysia in Super 4's pool game at Jakarta. And in cricket, Gujarat Titans win IPL final, defeating Rajasthan Royals in Ahmedabad. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alert.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी, तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर, या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर, और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। इस बार का विषय है एनवायरमेंट एंड क्लाइमेट चेंज, और सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 1 जून। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
सिनेमा प्रेमी हो जाओ तैयार, आया है फिल्मों का त्योहार। 29 मई से 4 जून तक लगातार सपनों का शहर लाया आपके लिए उपहार। देखिए मुंबई इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल, ऑनलाइन भी ऑफलाइन भी। पंजीकरण कराएं www.miff.in पर।
The National Council for Teacher Education has launched an online portal to streamline the process of recognition of teacher education programs of higher education institutions and teacher education institutions. This portal will bring in a paradigm shift in the functioning of National Council for Teacher Education. The portal aims to provide an automated, robust framework, thereby enhancing accountability, transparency, and ease of doing business. Applications for the recently launched 4-year Integrated Teacher Education Program applications will be processed on this portal. Summer months are when most students decide their university plans, and those planning to go abroad look at the visa options. Lots of parents and students have misconceptions about a US visa. AIR News brings an exclusive in-conversation with U.S. Embassy Visa Chief Don Heflin and Education Attaché Anthony Miranda to clear the doubts on the whole U.S. university admission and visa process. Anthony Miranda, the countrywide Cultural and Educational Affairs Counselor, said it is the right time for Indian students to pursue their higher education in the United States.
We're really encouraging Indian students to consider the United States for higher education. Actually, there's no better time to do that. Universities are hungry and excited to welcome Indian students to their campuses. We recognize that Indian students contribute so much to the atmosphere, the academic rigor, and it makes American universities better. So we're excited to have them.
Don Heflin, the Minister Counselor for Consular Affairs, said the U.S. Embassy and consulates in India are coping with the demand for appointments of visa interviews of students and hope to issue more student visas than the record number of 62,000 issued last year to the students joining the U.S. universities.
Couple of weeks, we will open up tens of thousands of appointments for the period July 15th to August 15th. We've already made plans to interview more students this year than we've ever interviewed before. Last year, we broke the record for the number we've issued, 62,000, and we hope to break that again this year.
All India Radio News will broadcast the exclusive in-conversation with the U.S. Embassy Visa Chief Don Heflin and Education Attaché Anthony Miranda in our special program at 9:30 p.m. on FM Gold channel tonight. This will also be available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official, and on our website, newsonair.gov.in. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
The Hindi Journalism Day or Hindi Patrakarita Divas is celebrated every year on 30th of May in India to mark the beginning of journalism in Hindi language. On this date in 1826, the first Hindi language newspaper of India, Udant Martand, was published from Calcutta by Pandit Jugal Kishore Shukla. Though due to financial problems, the newspaper couldn't publish for long, the paper provided an impetus to the vernacular press, helping nationalist sentiment reach every corner of the country.
Andher Nagari Chaupat Raja.
The First War of Indian Independence in 1857 brought out new political consciousness against the brutal tyranny of the British colonists. Bhartendu Harishchandra was inspired to promote social, economical and academic reforms in the Hindi regions. In 1868, he motivated the Hindi writers by publishing Kavi Vachan Sudha from Kashi. Through the magazine, he brought mass consciousness and advocated for gender equality. He dreamed of India's self-rule and her complete sovereignty.
The Bhartendu age in Hindi literature and journalism is deemed to be a golden era and marks not only awareness among the Hindi-speaking people but also the sharp reaction against the British repression. Mahavir Prasad Dwivedi took charge of editorship of Saraswati in 1903 and the third stage of Hindi Renaissance began. During this time, social, political and economical problems were mirrored in poetry, while songs emoted a theme of social arousal.
In 1907, the weekly Sahitya was brought out by Madan Mohan Malviya from Prayag, and in the same year, Hind Kesari was started from Nagpur by Madhav Rao Sapre. Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi launched a flamboyant and revolutionary weekly, Pratap, in 1910 from Kanpur, which was the voice of the nationalist youths. Another significant journalistic contribution to Hindi is appearance of Prabha in 1913, first published from Khandwa by Kaluram Gangrade and Makhanlal Chaturvedi, and later in 1919 began to come out from Vidyarthi's Pratap Press of Kanpur. Prabha was a dedicated newspaper to the freedom struggle.
Maitribhumi pare शीश छड़ाने जिस पर जावे वीर अनेक.
Chand was a significant journal allied with Prabha and Pratap. Chand sowed the seed of nationalism against the English colonial rule and played a pivotal role during freedom movement.
In 1920, Shiv Prasad Gupta started Aaj from Kashi to help the cause of the freedom struggle. On the 19th of August 1921, Gandhiji launched the Hindi version of Navjivan. Acharya Shiv Pujan Sahai began with the editing of the monthly journal Adarsh in 1922.
Publication of Hindi weekly Matwala started on 26th August 1923 from Kolkata, to which eminent Hindi literature like Suryakant Tripathi Nirala, Mahadev Prasad Seth, Shiv Pujan Sahai, Bechan Sharma Ugra and Navjadik Lal Srivastav were attached. In 1928, it was again from Kolkata, Banwari Das Chaturvedi began to edit the monthly Vishal Bharat. In 1933, Gandhiji started Harijan Sevak, which was the vehicle of his crusade against untouchability and poverty.
Premchand began to publish Hans in 1930. He illustrated the odds and oddities of the British rule to the Indian people. In September 1936, in the last issue of Hans of his lifetime, a brilliant essay, Mahajani Sabhyata, was published, which is the testimony of Premchand's sharpening revolutionary consciousness.
Hindi journalism has been the backbone of the freedom struggle through formation and propagation of the nationalist ideology.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Pope Francis announced yesterday that he will create 21 new cardinals, including 2 from India, at a consistory on 27th of August this year. They represent the Church worldwide and reflect a wide variety of cultures, contexts, and pastoral ministries. The 2 cardinals from India are Archbishop Philip Neri Antonio Sebastião de Rosario Ferrao, Archbishop of Goa and Damao, and Archbishop Anthony Pula, Archbishop of Hyderabad, the official Vatican News reported. He also said that he will meet from the 29th of August and the 30th of August with all cardinals to reflect on the new apostolic constitution predicate Evangelium. In Asia Cup hockey, India played a draw against Malaysia 3-all in a Super Force pool game at Jakarta, Indonesia yesterday. The draw put India at par with Korea at the top of the standings with 4 points each from a win and a draw. Malaysia are third with 2 points from 2 draws, while Japan are at the bottom of the Super Force table after 2 losses.
In the French Open, Rafael Nadal won a marathon 5-set fourth-round match against 9th seed Felix Auger-Aliassime yesterday. Nadal recovered from a set down and defeated Auger 3-6, 6-3, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3 to set up a quarter-final clash against defending champion and world number 1 Novak Djokovic. It will be the 59th career meeting between Nadal and Djokovic on the tour. In IPL cricket final, Hardik Pandya's all-round performance powered debutants Gujarat Titans to a 7-wicket win over Rajasthan Royals at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad last night. Needing 131 runs to win, Gujarat Titans chased down the target with 7 wickets and 11 balls to spare. Now let us have a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder lightning. The temperature will hover between 28 and 41 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky, so will Chennai. Kolkata is predicted to have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Srinagar is expected to have thunderstorm with rain. Jammu is likely to have a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. And Leh, Gilgit and Muzaffarabad will have a generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. The front pages of most dailies have covered the story of the missing Nepalese Airlines plane with 4 Indians on board missing in Nepal. Bad weather hampers bid to locate aircraft. 22 people on board, reads a headline in the Pioneer. The Times of India reports that a study by Christian Medical College, Vellore, on the effectiveness of mixed booster doses has yielded positive results and is currently being evaluated by central agencies. With a picture of a man rowing a boat in Thiruvananthapuram, the Hindustan Times says that monsoon has arrived in India 3 days ahead of time. A photo of singer Sidhu Moosewala appears on the front page of the Tribune with the caption 30 rounds, singer Sidhu Moosewala shot dead, day after security pruned. And finally, Britain is reportedly set to announce a return to imperial measurements of pounds and ounces as a post-Brexit move, reports the Asian Age.
Before we end the bulletin, a reminder of today's question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Which freedom fighter is associated with Songs from Prison, a translation of ancient Indian religious lyrics in English? Repeat, which freedom fighter is associated with Songs from Prison, a translation of ancient Indian religious lyrics in English? WhatsApp your response on 88265 And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Modi-led government completes 8 years today, rededicates to service, good governance and welfare of the poor. Benefits under the PM Cares for Children scheme to be released by Prime Minister Modi today at 10:30 a.m. via video conferencing. Infrastructure development for better connectivity in the Northeast is a priority, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Guwahati. National Council for Teacher Education launches online portal to streamline the process of recognition of teacher education programs. Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs to celebrate iconic week of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from today. Pope Francis has elevated Archbishops of Hyderabad and Goa to cardinal rank. In French Open tennis, Rafael Nadal sets up clash with world number 1 Novak Djokovic in quarterfinals. In Asia Cup hockey, India draw game with Malaysia in Super 4 pool game at Jakarta. And in cricket, Gujarat Titans win IPL final, defeating Rajasthan Royals at Ahmedabad. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.